Now, y'all already know I stay cooking something up out here in these YouTube streets. Like the stove stay hot, you feel me? Like we don't even bother turning that joint off anymore.
Ooh-wee. Now this little poopy pants is hungry.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Say here. Let's get right into it. Alright, now here we got my man's Transformers Rise of the Beast Battletrap version 2 in his GMC C70 tow truck vehicle mode. Now for those of you that don't know, Battletrap is one of the 4 main villains in the movie, and he is really just ruthless. He's got this giant spiked chain mace that he swings around, and he also utilizes this giant machine gun that pops out of his arm. So he really ain't about them games. Now, when I built the version 1 a couple of months ago, I already knew I was gonna have to run it back and drop a version 2 because I had a little situation arise during construction. So peep game, I actually had to prep in order to build that version 1 because at the time I didn't really have like any orange Lego pieces at all. So I'm like, I bet. Drop a little 200, a little 250 on some Legos, you feel me? Little. Now, you're right, that's actually mad money for some Legos. But in my head, right, I'm thinking like, okay, $250 should get me enough pieces to build a decent looking battle trap. Like, that's what I'm thinking in my head. Okay, so what happened then? Bro, tell me why I get halfway through the build and realize I still don't have enough pieces to finish the battle trap. That's crazy work. That's what I'm saying. Yes, so I was very upset because I then had to start taking all these shortcuts and using all these different pieces in places they weren't supposed to be used to represent things they weren't supposed to represent. So a couple of months pass and I'm like, okay, I'ma drop a next 250 on the orange Lego pile to revamp the battle trap. A next 250, bro. But luckily, it was enough. And now here we have the true battle trap, scaling in at 7 inches long and clocking in at 50 hours of build time, ladies and gents. 50. Wow. Now, to the naked eye, this vehicle mode may look exactly like the version 1's vehicle mode, but I implore you to take a closer look because we now have a completely redesigned bumper and grille section here using pieces I simply didn't have when I was designing the front of the car on the version 1. So it now looks a lot more realistic, detailed, and accurate to the movie rendition of the car. I also redesigned this toe or crane section here that sits on the back of Battletrap's vehicle mode, as well as the weighted spiky ball, and made it so that each of them can just detach from the back here and attach to both of his arms in his robot mode, just like how the studio figure is designed. Oh. And then on top of all that, there's also a bunch of other tiny little details that I updated now that I have all of the correct pieces that I need. For example, these massive protruding rear view mirrors that he's got sticking out of both sides of the car. All this random techno greeble that he's got just lining the bottom of the sides of his car. And of course, the horn and the lights that sit on the top portion of the vehicle. So yeah, I'd say that's about it for the vehicle mode. Now let's get into that robot mode. But before we do that, if you guys are interested in having me build or review your favorite Lego Transformers or mechs on the channel here, consider becoming a Patreon. The membership link for that is in the description. Or if you're interested in gaining access to instructions to some of my non-transformable builds, you can actually get those over on my Rebrickable page. So the link to that will be in the description as well. Ooh. Hey yo, where my man's Emerald Lagasse at, bro? I told y'all we stay in the kitchen out here. Bam! 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 Now this is how the version 1 was supposed to come out, okay? No corners cut, really detailed and compact looking, and really nice proportions overall. Unlike the version 1, which had this overly bulky chest design. Oh, and you can't really see it from this angle, so I'm gonna bring the camera down. this guy is not just a chess piece on legs, okay? Like, we do actually have some abs sculpted in there under the chest that connect to a waist. And of course, we got a brand new head sculpt design with this version as well, because the head sculpt on the version 1 was so badly compromised due to lack of pieces, it wasn't even funny. But this time around, we got that signature gladiator mask Battletrap action going, along with the horns there to represent the eyebrows. So this version looks a lot more accurate to the movie design. And what's crazy is this version's head sculpt doesn't even have a pair of eyes built into it, but because of the way it's designed with the round bricks here and the horns kind of simulating angry eyebrows facing downwards, your mind kind of just imagines a pair of eyes right in there under them. Now, the legs on this version could be a tad bit better formed, not gonna lie, but these legs are still way more compact looking than the version 1's legs, especially since the wheels now tuck into the side of the calf here, reducing all of that extra bulk and kibble that was just hanging off the legs with the first version. And I shrunk the size of the arms as well because they were just a tad bit too bulky on that previous version. So yeah, y'all already know what it is. Improvements for days, not minutes, not hours. Let's go. And let's not forget about the weapon upgrades with this version. As I mentioned before, we now have the wieldable hydraulic boom along with the chain mace, which comes with a detachable chain because in the movie, Battletrap has the ability to draw the end of the mace in and store the chain in his body until he's ready to launch it out again for a long range attack. And I love the way he looks when he's wielding the mace in either form, so I made a way for him to be displayed with either version. Last but not least, we have the machine gun, which isn't actually 100% movie accurate because in the movie, Battletrap's machine gun is supposed to transform out of his arm and physically be connected to the forearm and hide his hand. However, mine is just a wieldable version that connects to the hand. Not the end of the world, but I'll take the L. Now, if you guys are interested in seeing another one of my mocks from Transformers Rise of the Beast, I'll leave the link to my R.O.T.B Scourge at the end of this video.